I think I'm gonna start calling these videos, I guess, therapy sessions for Eagle fans because it seems like this is what it's going to be at this point where we're barely even talking about football now, because of how much of the biggest fraudulent crumble this team has been this year. And I feel like every time we talk to another coach, I feel like it's just getting worse. And I feel like it's more of a question mark in who's calling what. And some of these answers are pretty damn basic and uninformational at this point. And Brian Johnson didn't make anything better the other day.
You better do because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some news from the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple things to definitely go over here. Like I said, this isn't going to be great news, and it's going to be more of a rant-based situation. So if you don't like the rants, you can click off. I totally understand. Because at the end of the day, like I need answers. I think we all need answers in who is the main problem, who is the main blame, who is the main coaching staff, whether it's Howie Roseman, whether it's whoever that is taking this team is in this direction. Okay, and we kind of just have to go over all the things. So I want to go over Brian Johnson's press conference, a few questions that he was asked, and it really seemed like Brian Johnson had the most basic, most I mean, it was just enough to piss you off. Like, what am I listening to? And this sounds like a guy that has no involvement or no answers or isn't allowed to speak about. And yes, I understand, like, you don't want to give up any, you don't want to give up any, you got a playoff game and you have a game next week and you don't want to give up any information about your offensive game plan. Like, that's working anyway. Brian Johnson goes in and talks about the back-to-back QB draws on the last drive before obviously they did the QB draws, the two of them that went 4 yards, -4, and then the screen pass, the bubble screen, whatever it was. Okay. This is what he had to say that about that. He said, in that situation, 2nd and 16, you try to catch him off guard by playing with a second and pass call and see if you could pop one and get some yardage and get to a safe spot where you can be super aggressive on third down and in comfortable field goal range. We end up losing four, and that changed the mode and the mindset for the third down play. This is just an example of, like, this guy, I don't know whether it's him, Nick, whatever the case may be, they don't know situational football, okay? It from these answers that we did get, okay, it's making it seem like that they were playing for a field goal that entire drive, okay? Because running with Jalen Hurts isn't going to work and affect the offense that much because teams have laid the blueprint out of what the Eagles do in vile situations in the red zone. And obviously, like, this is how it went. I think it was like a 4 yard carry by Hertz. Then it was like he took a sack for -4. Then they ran a screen pass. I don't get I don't get the thought process of because Nick says the exact different thing than Brian Johnson's saying. Remember, remember what Brian Johnson said the week of the Cardinals game. During the week, he had a press conference and he said that, oh, a lot of teams are good on first and second down offensively, but I think we thrive more when we really get to those really good third down situations. Um, it just makes no sense, dude. Like, he would rather have a third and long than he would rather have like a second and short or something. This team is not good on first and second down. I mean, realistically, they're almost dead last on those downs. Really, since I wouldn't say beginning of the season, but at least since we lost to the 49ers, it's been really downhill. 'Cause you can't win on first down, you can't win on second down. You're kind of screwed at that point. Um, you know, they put themselves in field goal range, take the 3 points, but because he says, "Oh, you shouldn't be comfortable in third and long situations because that's where your team thrives." I guess the Eagles are better in third down, which hasn't really been that much. Okay, maybe a while back they were a lot better, maybe during the gauntlet when we were going through our gauntlet, they looked a lot better on third and long, third down territory. But as of right now, it's there's a communication issue. There's a coach that coaches multiple coaches that don't know situational football, and it to value the third down over any other down, and he said that last week, and it, oh man, it just makes me want to pull my hair out of my head, dude. This offense doesn't want to be aggressive. This offense just wants to go through. These coaches want to go through the motion, and they want to just get by. I mean, you had to at least try and be aggressive. They didn't do that. Nick contradicted himself post game, saying they weren't being conservative, and then the next day, after 2 days after the game, he said they weren't aggressive enough. Like you're making yourselves look really stupid. Whether Howie's telling you what to say at these press conferences, or you're just trying to stay so positive, it's just coming out as the most fakest shit I have ever seen. Okay. And then, Brian Johnson talks about the bubble screen, the infamous bubble screen, the one that got Devontae Smith hurt, the 3rd and 20. Okay. He says, with the way the wind was on that side, we had to get the kick line. You obviously have multiple options on the play call. If you get a pressure look, that's what we're going to screen. If you don't, the play would have been something else. Like, this is such a basic, like, answer that a high school coach would say. Um, the way, like, he's talking about, yeah, he's literally talking about a field goal. Like, there was their plan wasn't to hit the end zone. Their plan was to, like, they're looking at wind direction. Are you fucking serious? That's the first thing he talks about why the 3rd and 20 bubble screen. Oh, with the wind direction on that side, we want to make sure that they want to bubble screen to that side. This way, if the wind's going to the right or to the left, whatever. Because I didn't rewatch the game, so I'm just trying to remember. Like, I forgot what side they kicked on, if it was more to the left or more to the right. So wherever I think the bubble screen was to the left side. I think if I can remember, they bubble screen to the left side so they could kick from that side when going to the right side. So they literally played for a field goal, and like, you're literally 2 questions in, and he's already that's what the answer is. And if you get a pressure look, there's so much more you could do. Why is the screen you do it so much? You read it so well. Every defense reads this so well. How many times? There's only been maybe a couple times this year. I think it was like 3rd and 19. I forgot what game Devontae Smith had a first down on, like, 3rd and 19 on a bubble screen. Okay, or a screen pass in general. There's no forward screen with DeAndre Swift. There's no. I mean, they don't even. Kenny G is the last player I would want on fucking screen passes. Seriously, dude. Like, if you want to use a gadget player, you could have used Britton Covey the whole entire year, or at least incorporate Covey into the screen game and made it really, I don't know, made it more creative. I don't know, but using your one of the worst back on this team, the most non-agile. I mean, Devontae Smith's too small. We've seen him do it a million times. I hate when they run screens. The tight end screens it's because it's not going to work because you do it so much, and it's so. This is what the Eagles don't want to work for the yards. The Eagles try to make up the most easy play, whether it's throwing the ball, kill shot downfield on a 3rd and short, a 2nd and short, whatever the case may be with that. Bubble screen, or they run with Hurts with the ball in his hands. I mean, that's like all they do. I mean, that's as much as I've seen that's creative. Besides the handoff left-handed throw by Kenneth Gainwell, which was like really shocking. I mean, that was a new play that came out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit, look at that. Like, we haven't seen that. That's awesome. And it's so, like, you get so excited when you see a new play from the back pocket because they never do anything new. It's just, I'm tired of watching these other offenses in the league that are just non-robotic and do whatever they want, and they're just more creative. And Jesus, it's just it's just insane at this point. Like Brian Johnson doesn't even sound like he runs this offense at all. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised since we already heard that a couple weeks ago that this is in- evolved around Nick's game plan. This whole entire game plan is Nick's game plan, piggybacked. So I mean, Brian Johnson isn't your offensive coordinator. He's your offensive assistant. That's a yes man at this point. I mean, that's all he is. He's not. He's not a game manager. He's not. He's not anything. He's nothing. He doesn't do anything. These answers don't tell me that he knows football or is creative or doesn't. Not saying he's not creative, but doesn't have the control. That's what I'm sensing from Brian Johnson, that he's literally following what Nick wants to do. He's holding the clipboard, which is absolutely just ridiculous. But that was his answer. I mean, you're talking about the first thing you talking about the wind in case you have to kick a field goal. I mean, you wasted 2 plays on QB draws and you throw a screen to Kenny Gainwell as the most lazy fucking play that they just keep doing, and it just doesn't work. Same as the first drive of the game. They ran with DeAndre Swift 2 times. It was 3rd and 2. They take DeAndre Swift out, they put Gainwell in, and they run a fucking dump off to the left side and gets nowhere. Why they do this substitution bullshit? If DeAndre Swift is on a roll, keep him the fuck in and run north and south. Seriously. You're really making this harder on ourselves, and I guess it's too late. I don't know. But it seems like they're just not going to get out of their old ways. Now, a question on the second to last drive to be more aggressive, as considering the defense had given up 3 straight touchdowns. So I don't know if I could answer that question for you. I don't know if I could answer that question, but for us offensively, what we were trying to accomplish, that was the mode we were in. Like, what are these answers, dude? Seriously, like, what are these fucking answers? Like, this is like he said the same thing 2 times. He said the same stupid thing, the first 2 things he said, the same way. Just seriously. I don't know if I can answer that question for you. I don't know if I can answer that question. Like, all right, okay, I guess you really don't know then. We were trying to accomplish, that was the mode we were in. That's like what the fuck? He sounds like he has no idea what he's doing. I don't always mean the second to last drive, which obviously is probably the onside after the onside kick. That's what I'm guessing, because that's, obviously we kicked the field goal and the last drive was obviously the Cardinals going down the field. Just ridiculous. Or I'm sorry, us going down. Sorry. I don't know. I don't even care. I don't even care because, I mean, like I said, this is a controlled situation and there's no adjustments. And the Eagles are underdogs against the Giants in a few days. And then they have a fucking playoff game to play. Most likely in Tampa Bay. Not loving it, but this is what your offensive coordinator had to say. It really shows that Brian has no idea what's going on. He's just trying to make positive of the situation with his answers. And yes, they don't want to win the game and put a team away, which they haven't done all year, putting teams away at the right moments and making it harder. Even when we went through our gauntlet, these second half comebacks, those moments where you're either scoring too early or you throw a kill shot down the field for an interception, or you get a 3 and out and you're not smart on your play calling to sustain a drive, get more time of possession. Obviously, the Eagles had no time of possession in this game because the defense was that bad. Trust me. But I'm not just going to take away what the offense did and put it more on the defense, even though the defense is the main blame. They didn't get 1 stop in that game, so that doesn't help against the Cards. 40 minutes of possession is fucking insane. Just crazy. That's your offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. Wow. That's crazy. That guy he just bleeds out in intellectual matter. Oh, yeah. Smart guy. And then there's, I don't know, it keeps getting worse. All this information evolving around, one player, AJ Brown, and the Philly Inquirer has destroyed this guy. I don't blame. Like I said, I've been on AJ Brown's side since all this shit has happened, since we started losing. And AJ Brown is not talking to anybody, taking shots at the coaches, but not verbally taking actual shots. Okay, which I have to respect. If the Eagles didn't have a playoff game, really, this would unfold pretty damn fast. We would hear a lot more about this. Okay. So this is breaking news. The Philly Inquirer is reporting that the Eagles locker room is fractured and star wide receiver A.J. Brown is at the center of it. His frustration is tearing the team apart, according to report. Anytime you have bad body language from a leader like that, other guys see it, and it's not good. A veteran player said. Seriously. So every time there's a fucking news thing about AJ Brown and somebody said something about him via the team, okay, there's never a name. It's always anonymous. And you know what? It's all bullshit. The players are the last, okay? The players, look, if a player starts and he plays like shit, that's not on the player. The player's getting the opportunity. The player fails that opportunity, and they keep playing that player, and they keep running this scheme defensively or offensively, and they are still failing with no adjustments. This is strictly on the coaching staff to the fucking GM. Simple as that. Simple as that. AJ Brown has every right. He's got 5 games without a fucking touchdown at this point. Okay? Literally, he had 6 games with 125 plus yards, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. I think he has, literally, this is a guy could have had 1,400 yards, probably more than that this year. I don't know what he has right now. But, he has every right to talk his shit. Okay, AJ Brown is the furthest. AJ Brown is doing what no players have the balls to do. That's how I think of it. He has no other players. Kelsey starting to break a little bit. There's players that are starting to crack their shell a little bit and starting to, the losses are starting to get to them a lot more, and they're starting to crack, and it's starting to happen. Some players were asked about this AJ Brown situation, that he's not a leader. I mean, I'm watching the NFL films and the Eagles playing even in these games, and AJ Brown is always supporting. He's supportive of, Covey with the good return. He's always supportive of everybody around him. He is not a cancerous player as everyone thinks to be. He is a player that wants this team to get better and wants things to get right. Okay, and you know what? Losing 4 out of the 5 games with no touchdown, I mean, I can't blame him at all. I really can't. It's just getting to that point now, and it is what it is. So I don't give a fuck. Whether it's McLean, whether it's Elliott Shore Parks, whether it's Hayes, that other asshole that writes for the Eagles and always trashes the team with every chance he gets, because that's what they like to do. If you see anything that says a veteran player said, a team source said, a person close to the team said, it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. And I can't stand it. Easy. Philly Inquirer has been trying to throw this guy under a bus, and you know what? It's bullshit. So that's all I got to say about the situation. AJ Brown is doing what other players are not doing, and that's perfectly fine. This is just the start of it. Wait till they actually lose to the Giants Sunday, or they lose that playoff game to be one and done. Then next offseason is going to be one of the most fucking dramatized off seasons we have had, probably since Chip Kelly fucking leaving. Probably. Or during the Chip Kelly era. Probably. So that's all I got to say about the situation. I'm sorry about the rant today. I hope everybody is doing well and having a good day. I know this is really hard to go through every day, but we need to battle against what the fuck is going on. And if we don't say nothing, not like we're going to be heard, but they're not listening. They're still not changing their ways. And, you have a playoff game that I can't wait to watch, because I really want them to win that playoff game, whether it's in Tampa Bay or whatnot. But, I want to see, I think the playoff game would be a cherry on top. literally for the Eagles are going through so much drama right now, and it feels like the season's over. But when this playoff game coming up in a couple weeks, right? With this playoff game coming up, it just makes it sweeter because it puts more pressure on the coaching staff. Because if they lose or they get fucking demolished in that playoff game, I think it's really going to help the decision of firing a bunch of guys, or Howie Roseman hopefully is going to take less control of these fucking playbooks, and the analytics department doesn't get involved, and we can actually hire a fucking OC and a DC that want to run their own offense and defense. And whenever they fail, it is strictly on them, and us fans will know that it's on that one person. And that's the problem. There's too many people that are involved on game day. It's too much. And they have been getting fucking lucky this year. Okay? They've gotten lucky this year on certain situations. Jalen Hurts has put the team on his back. You're not going to win the second half drives like that. It wasn't going to last that long. The Eagles got away with a lot of things. And trust me, this doesn't put disrespect towards the Eagles. This puts more respect on Jalen Hurts and how great of a quarterback he is. But without a sustained run game, you have to run a Shanahan West Coast style offense with him or something, because this offense is not catering to Jalen Hurts becoming a better quarterback. He is going to get worse with this play style until you change it. It's not going to be great. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this news. Brian Johnson, really having no idea what's going on. And appreciate everybody that's been supporting the videos. Everybody that's been giving their 2 cents about the Eagles. The more comments, the better. The more I could read, the more everybody could read to get an opinion from everybody. Okay, we want the same goal. We want this team to win a championship. And this is the second wasted year with great fucking talent. It's just annoying. It's really sad, honestly. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys in the next one. Shakes what, false lie. Peace out, guys. Peace.